Well, let's take a look at my video. Now I got to follow all of that. You guys did such amazing jobs editing. I got to follow this. But for those who don't know me, I'm Rainwater Games. So let's take a look at what I put together. Here we go. Hi, I'm Jeff Rainwater, and my channel is called Rainwater Games. Many people don't know it, but my channel has existed for over 8 years now, and originally was a channel mostly for Let's Plays, which were popular at the time, and MMORPG guides and tutorials.
He aggroed me? He aggroed me. Oh my gosh, I hit Spirit Bolt. I'm gonna die. I am so gonna die. I'm the only one healing here. This is not good. Oh! Oh snap! There's like 5,000 of them! What?
But ultimately, the channel has always been all about games. In some of my earlier videos, you might have seen me refer to myself as Cannon Fodder Ted. This nickname alias sprang from an old Xbox username. Because I was so bad at shooter games, I thought it would be comical and brutally honest to call myself Cannon Fodder so that my enemies would underestimate me. The Ted part was simply because, well, Cannon Fodder was taken and I didn't want to be something like Cannon Fodder 2988. Well, the name sort of stuck and I just kind of went with it. So my channel became known as Ted the Noob Gamer or Cannon Fodder Ted.
We're not flat because...
Oh sure, the only option left is go in the door with the crazy guy.
Here, I'm gonna draw a wiener on the screen.
There's no skill involved at all! It's time for some Black Rock Mountain expansion. We're on the third boss.
Giant spiders to do my bidding.
This game is absolutely atrocious. I think the obvious choice here is the redneck because he has a chainsaw. Is that Yoshi? It's freaking Yoshi!
Just pooped a little, I think.
No! I am so bad at this game. If you save the world, I'd expect Obama to be like, hey Ted, thanks for saving the world. Sending you some flip-flops.
In 2020, I became a Kickstarter backer for a project called the iiRcade. I started consuming every bit of content I could on the company and the product, and I was fascinated by the prospect of having a quality home-sized multicade with legally licensed and optimized games that could support the developers. I could actually choose which games I wanted on it, and not have to sift through tens of thousands of illegal ROMs that may not even work properly just to find a game that I wanted to play. And in December of 2020, I became the second person in the world to own an iiRcade at home when it showed up on my doorstep unexpectedly. From then on, I was hooked. I knew I needed to make a review video, so I revived my dusty and forgotten YouTube channel from the depths of long forgotten, and the rest is history. On my channel, you can find content about iiRcade, as well as other home arcade, pinball, console, and PC gaming, retro and old. I love all the games. In fact, if you look around, you might even find some board game content as well. I've played and own hundreds of board games. I guess some might say I'm a bit of a board game snob. Those Hasbro games just don't cut it for me. In the spring of 2021, I joined up with Mad Dad's Gaming and Your Average Gamer on the weekly Retro Party YouTube show, which is all about retro gaming. Many people felt that our chemistry and humor on that show was the keys to it being so successful and becoming one of the most exciting gaming shows on YouTube today.
If something happens, I want to make sure that your family is taken care of.
Oh, what are you doing? What's chasing him, man?
Okay. I eventually made the decision on my own to leave the weekly Retro Party to pursue a different direction with my content, and that's when I was approached about joining the iiRcadians. The iiRcadians show promised to be a show all about my favorite arcade machine, the iiRcade, and the community surrounding it. The all-star host lineup was full of dedicated, focused, genuine, positive YouTubers from the community that all shared a passion for the iiRcade and wanted to create a family-friendly, drama-free, positive, and enthusiastic environment and a place to celebrate what we all mutually loved, the iiRcade. So check out my channel, Rainwater Games. Later, nerds.
Rainwater Games, oh Rainwater, go check out his channel. Ba, 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 ba.
Okay, hey, I gotta go.
Yeah, Jeff.
I bet Ralph didn't know he was going to be in the show today, did he? Thank you, Kev Grant, for pointing out the Prius. He's always got to bring that up, right? I appreciate that. Everyone's got to know Jeff has a Prius. I got 2 other vehicles too, I'm just saying.
But for me, I think my favorite, if I had to narrow it down to one, I as a category, the shmups by far. And there's a few games that I gravitate to just playing a lot. But I think as far as like, if I had to pick one game to be my favorite, I would go with probably Outzone. So if you guys haven't played Outzone, it's kind of like Akari Warriors or Heavy Barrel. It's like a top view, and it's almost like a shooter, but it's not a scrolling screen. But you got to keep going because your energy is running out in that game. So you got to like manage that. So you got to really go, and you got to kind of memorize the levels to really be good at it. But the sound is so good. And on an iiRcade, which we know already has amazing speakers, you pump that thing up to 11, man. And it's just, it will like make your heart pump for you, and like your adrenaline just I'm like screaming at my arcade when I'm playing that game. Like, I don't know, man. I love it. And I don't think it ever got a home release on any kind of console at all on Outzone. There's a sequel to it, Fixate, which is technically maybe a better game, but I still think Outzone is more fun for me, but that's my favorite.